No, great win against a really well-coached Bryant team. I mean, this team is spectacular. I knew it was going to be a fight, but I'm really proud of our team for coming together and knowing the game plan and executing that. Knowing that this team was great, I have a great shooting a high percentage from the field and also 3-point line. So I knew that coming in, and I just feel like we really came together. A lot of different players chipped in today, and I love that. Definitely want to give a nice shout out to Ashley Dingus coming off the bench as a freshman and just coming in and giving us a spark, starting the second half as well. So, but again, great team with Bryant. I wish them the best, but I'm just so proud of our women for coming together and getting it done.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about the defensive effort today? I mean, you guys held them almost 20 points below their season average. You talked about the percentages coming in. They were top 10 in the nation in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. You held them way below those, both those stats. Can you just talk about the overall defensive performance today from you?
Yeah, I think it was spectacular. We did have some lapses here and there. We started off really slow. I mean, I think maybe it was 11-1. I was standing like, good Lord. But they knew the plan. We practiced it well. We did a lot of work in practice, and we worked on our defense quite a bit, and it just came through. It just all around. But really, it's grit. It's their gut feeling, like their actual being physical and knowing who you're guarding and things like that. Having that knowledge of the scout is huge, and our women are doing a great job.
One thing that jumped out to me in particular defensively was Orla today matched up with Mancini anytime she was out there and really made it hard for Mancini to get those open looks, kind of forced her to play off the dribble. You just talk about how she looked on defense today.
Yeah, Ola did a great job, and really all of our guards. I mean, their guards are amazing. They move really well. They change their speed. They can shoot the three off the bounce. They can shoot it in Caitlin Clarkville. I mean, they can do it all, and so it was really cool to see Orly getting there and getting down and dirty, and I love that, and that's kind of what we have to do moving forward for every game.
Talking about individual performances, Tanisha Brown, maybe didn't have her best day from the field at 2 of 12 shooting, but still wound up with 8 points, clutch free throws, 14 rebounds,
Yeah.
5 of them on the offensive end, and really was a disruptor on the defensive end in terms of their inside play. Can you talk about her today?
That's key. That's huge. I mean, I'm a defensive-minded coach anyway, but I cannot express how important it is that you are a great rebounding team, that you can get stops because not all the time the ball's going to go in the hole. So what are you going to do? You're going to have to keep it, something's got to give. And I really want it, and I want it on the defensive end. And Tanisha does that for us. I know she hasn't scored a lot of points right now, but getting 14 rebounds is ridiculous. It is awesome. It's next level stuff, and that is straight heart. It doesn't always, it shows up on the stats, but people don't always talk about it. But that right there is key, and I promise you this: if we didn't get those 14 rebounds, we probably wouldn't have won today. That's the truth. So I'm really proud of her.
Coach, you shouted out Ashley. Can you just speak about her and her minutes that she came? I think you called the timeout, and then she just came and the momentum shifted. Can you just talk about her contribution in the minutes she played?
Yeah, she's so solid to be so young, and she just, even when I watched her play in high school, she's always been really tough. Ashley Dingus has always been a really tough player, and it wasn't always just her shooting threes. It was the rebounding. It was her diving on the floor. It was her getting loose ball, all those things. And so she's our spark, and I'm proud of her. I'm glad that she's getting these minutes because we're going to need it in the long run, And so I'm not surprised of her because she does that in practice every day. She shows up, she gets in extra minutes in practice and get extra time. And so I'm very proud of her. I'm not surprised. I'm not.
Erin, the start to the second half, obviously much different than the first. What changed there in terms of your players' approach or guarding them better or getting better looks? Just how were you able to be so much better there?
Yeah, I think my mama voice, I gave it to them. I let them know that this is what we're doing and we're better than what we were playing. And I think it was they weren't really focused, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what they expected, but when we came out here, we really weren't focused. And then tightening it up really is just making sure that we're there on every catch, that we're a little bit closer but ready for the drive, that we're switching guard to guard. So what does that really mean? Are your hands down? Are you talking? Is anybody on the white line? Because they love to go back door. So I think those are things we talked about, and they really just focused in because they're more than capable.
You're able to force turnovers, you beat them up in the paint, obviously. When you have a team who you're more physical than, how important is it to get across to the players that, hey, let's bully them a little bit?
Yeah, it's very important. It's key. And then also you got to know how the game's being officiated as well. Can we? I didn't want to get any dumb fouls either. And I think we did a pretty good job there. And so, yeah, the physicality part of the game, I think, definitely can separate you from winning and losing.
Coach, you head into conference play. Just what do you think your team needs to most improve on before you take on Xavier?
Yeah, I think coming out with a bang and being more consistent on the little things, setting and using screens, making sure we're calling out screens on defense and things like that. I like our sets. I like what we run offensively. I try to get everybody involved. I think they know where each one is, as far as on the floor, like where to pass it to, where is T, where is Peyton. Those things are really good, but it's just the small things that I really want to see, and I want it to be more consistent. I want to put together 4 really good quarters. Sometimes we just drop off, and I know the basketball is a game of runs. I know that, but I really defensively want to see us just continue that streak, stay solid there, and we'll be fine.
And then speaking of runs at the end there, Bryant tried to have a bit of a comeback attempt. Just how did you keep your team grounded and keep them together through that last stretch?
Oh, yes. Well, it was just really, we practiced it in practice. And so the scenarios, I knew they wanted some threes. So what does that really mean? And if they do hit it, we were out of timeout. So you have to think ahead. Okay, so now we can't advance the ball. So what press are we going to do? So really just making sure that I'm really focused in our timeouts and they're paying attention. Otherwise, I think we did a good job. Yeah, great question.
Not just 2 league games to start, but 2 on the road as well. Just what are you going to find out about yourselves over the next week, you think?
Yeah, how disciplined we are. Are they going to sleep? Are they going to, are they getting the rehab they need? Are they sleeping? Are they eating right? I think that's important when you go on the road. That, and then the scout again, paying attention, knowing that now the teams have been scouting us. They know, Peyton can shoot it. They know Boo goes downhill. I mean, it's not a secret, so what are we going to do? So I think that's really going to tell us a lot when you really get deeply scouted and what can we do? What's our plan B and C?